Hello students from Group 2 to your second video, and welcome back to your second online class. For today's class, you need your new worksheet printed out, as well as your book, your folder, and again your pencil case. As in the last video, you must pause this video when this symbol occurs. The last video dealt with the passive voice for past perfect, will future, and going to future. Before we continue with the passive voice today, I have a little quiz for you that requires some geography knowledge. Christmas is almost here, and we have to wait for just a few more days till we can unbox our presents. The inhabitants of Australia celebrate Christmas as well, of course. But if a German was to visit Australia during Christmas, there would be something very special, very different for him or her. Can you imagine what that is? Here you can see some hints for you that might help you thinking about what is special for us about Christmas in Australia. Okay, so as you know, Australia is on the southern hemisphere of the Earth. So actually, it's just over there. And you might also know that our Earth is tilted. Unsere Erde ist geneigt. And because of that, the seasons on the hemispheres differ. So when it is summer in Germany, it's winter in Australia, and vice versa. This means, of course, that Christmas, which takes place for us during winter, is a summer holiday for Australians. If you Google that, you can find many funny pictures of Australians being at the beach, maybe with a Christmas tree, and celebrating there next to the ocean. Now, do you remember Tanya from last time? Tanya is in Australia during her Christmas holidays, and I can tell you her mother wasn't too happy about that. So let's see how Tanya's parents reacted when Tanya told them about her plans. Take a look at your worksheet. Your first task is now to read the text and summarize it with your own words. Okay, welcome back, and let's now compare this task. I have my summary prepared over here. Put that here where you have written yours. So my summary of the text would be, the text is about a dialogue between Tanya and her parents, where they talk about Tanya's Christmas plans. Of course, your summary can be different, but it's important that it's really short and it's just about the main aspect of the text, so you don't need to give any detailed information. Okay, so let's continue. Now you have to read the text for a second time and answer the questions that you can find underneath after your second reading. Okay, and after you've done that, you can return to the video. Okay, welcome back to our video, and now I can give you the solutions for the tasks. First question, why were Tanya's parents shocked? Of course they were shocked because Tanya wants to spend her Christmas holidays in Australia and not with her family. And then, how should Christmas be according to Tanya's mother? Well, Tanya's mother wants that Christmas is spent with the whole family, so Christmas should be spent together with the whole family. And as well, it's very important for her that Christmas is planned really carefully. So answer C, Christmas should be planned very carefully, is also correct. Now, where would Tanya like to spend her Christmas? Tanya would like to spend her Christmas at the beach. she hopes to be invited by somebody to a Christmas barbie at the beach. I don't know if you know what a barbie is. This is an Australian typical term for barbecue. And that means that they're at the beach celebrating together, and they maybe have some meat or some veggies that they are grilling over the fire. So this is a Christmas barbie, a Christmas barbecue. Now, what is the compromise that Tanya's father suggests? Tanya's father suggests that Tanya can be contacted all of the time, so they can call her when she's at the beach, and so they can still have some family atmosphere and on the Christmas day. Okay, now we know the content of the text in detail. Let's continue with the grammatical analysis. You can see over here your next task, task number 4, is to underline all passive structures in the text. You have to find 8 structures. Pause the video now and return when you have found the 8 structures. Okay, welcome back. Now we will look for the structures together again. So let me take out the text first. So, as you know, one first hint for us to find a passive construction can be to look for the by agent. So let's first take a look at the text if we can find any by agents. And I can see the first one over here, by you. So in front of that there is a passive construction, which is mustn't be visited. Then is there another by agent? Yes, there's one over here, by her mom. And our passive construction is was always planned. And then there is another passive or another by agent over here by me. So we have you are going to be greeted as our passive construction. But these are only 3 passive constructions, but we have to find 8 passive constructions. So let's see where we can find others. To find a passive construction, we have to find sentences that talk about a situation where something is happening to somebody or to something. So over here is another passive construction. She didn't want to be stuck, so Tanya didn't want to be stuck at home. It's talking about what's not supposed to happen to Tanya. Then we have another passive construction here. Santa would like to be invited to the table. So it's talking about Santa, and what's supposed to happen to him is that he is invited to the table, that he would like to be invited to the table. Then there is another one over here. Tanya hopes that she gets invited by somebody to the beach. And her father says to her that she has to be contacted all of the time. So she can be contacted is another passive structure. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's one missing. Oh yes, it's over here. In the 4th line. So Christmas has to be celebrated with all family members. Okay, now so we have found all of our passive constructions. There are 2 structures in this text that you know already because we talked about them in the last lesson. And the one is here and the other one is here. So if we take a look at them, I'm sure that you can tell me that this is the simple past. And the one down here is, of course, going to future. If you look at the other ones, they might not seem familiar. They are not in one of the tenses that you know already, but still they have something in common. Take a look at them. Alright, so as you can see, all of them have a form of be. It's either be or to be. Here's another to be, and here's also to be, and be. Another thing that all of these sentences have in common, and that they have in common with all of the other passive constructions, is that they have a past participle. So here we have visited, celebrated, stuck, invited, another invited, and contacted. And of course, in the tenses that you know, we also have our past participle. Okay, so as you can see, some of the sentences use be and some of them use to be. And if you use be or to be, depends on the verb that stands in front of us. So turn over your worksheet and take a look at the back of the worksheet. Now you already know how to form a sentence in passive voice for several tenses. The passive can be formed in combination with certain verbs as well. This is what we call passive infinitive. This form is often used for rules or advice, but also for expectations and for reports. For example, Lily would like to be invited to. Dog shouldn't be brought to the beach. Now, as you can see underneath this text, there are two tables which give you information about when you have to use to be and when you use be. So if you have a full verb, like want, would like, expect, or hope, you use to be and then the past participle. And if you have a modal verb, for example, should, must, mustn't, have to, can, may, might, or could, you use be and the past participle. Be careful about these verbs and remember that must means müssen in German, but mustn't doesn't mean nicht müssen, but it means nicht dürfen. I write that down for you. Alright, now to form a sentence with passive infinitive is really easy because, as you can see, you just need to know which verb is combined with to be or be, and then again you use the past participle that you need for the other passive constructions as well. So this is actually really easy, and now you have the chance to do some exercises to really practice when and how to use be or to be. So take a look down here. There you can find another exercise. And then there's also another one on the third page. Do these exercises on your own and compare them with the solutions on the TSC. After that, you should play a game of Jeopardy together with a partner as a revision of your station work knowledge. You can find all of the information on your handout. So that's all from me for today. See you again in school. Goodbye.